Hi, I'm Samantha McDouglas from thebridgeteachers.com. Come look over my shoulder at a defense problem.
It's important to remember when you analyze an auction that not all partnerships have the same agreements. You and your partner should discuss your agreements ahead of time. When you sit down to compete against a pair, it is worth looking at their convention card to get an overview of what they play and asking if you're not certain about what any particular bid might mean. That being said, let's look at the auction. On this hand, our partner was the dealer and passed. East opened one spade, showing 5 or more spades and an opening hand or better. The person who held our hand overcalled 2 diamonds, showing 5 or more diamonds and 10 to 16 points. West bid 2 spades. This is one of those bids that I would inquire about. In our system, this shows exactly 3 spades and 0 to 9 points. Our partner passed, and now East bid 3 clubs. This should be some kind of invitational bid showing some kind of length in clubs. If you want to know exactly, you need to ask. With my partner, the agreement on 3 clubs is that this is an invitational bid, either to game or to slam, showing 4 or more clubs, and inviting partner to go to game if they have help in the club suit or find that the shapes between the 2 hands are complementary. When West bids 3 spades, this is declining the invitation, saying they are not interested. And now when East bids 4 spades, this tells us that 3 clubs was actually an invitation to slam and not just game, because of course, West declined the invitation and East went anyway. After that, everyone passed. The person who held our hand led the ace of diamonds. I think this is a good lead from this hand. We get a good look at dummy, and when dummy comes down as a defender, I do want you to take a moment and think about the hand. I want you to take the information from the auction that you know, and I want you to look at dummy, see if you can come up with what plan declarer is going to try and enact, and the ways that you need to counter it, cards that you need to play, situations you might find yourself in. Here, thinking about the length of the diamond suit and the distribution of the diamond suit is a very useful thing to do. Also, we do have a fairly good picture of the shape of the East hand. We know that East has at least 5 spades and probably at least 4 clubs. If you wanted to be certain, you could ask how many clubs the 3 club bid promised. But they definitely have a hand that is oriented to the black suits and probably don't have that many red suit cards. Declarer played the 7 of diamonds from dummy, partner played the 5, and declarer played the 2. Now, before I ask you about this trick, I do want to talk about the agreement that this partnership is playing. So the south and north hand, our hand, their agreement is that a high card says that they do not like the suit, and a low card says that they do like the suit. So generally, the first time a suit is led, partner is going to give attitude if they are able to do so, saying that they either like the suit or they do not. In standard, a high card says we like the suit and a low card says we don't. Some people play upside down, which just inverts that. A high card says we don't like the suit and a low card says that we do. It doesn't matter which agreement that you are playing. What matters is that you and your partner are on the same page. So for the purposes of this video, a high card from partner would indicate that they did not like the diamond suit, and a low card would indicate that they did. In order to determine whether or not partner likes the diamond suit and thinks it would be a good suit to continue, we do need to know whether the 5 of diamonds is a high diamond or a low diamond. So what do you think? Is it high or is it low? It's high. It is 100% high. When we first learn signaling, the temptation is to just assign 6 and below is low, 7 and above is high. But the reality of bridge is not so simple. A card is high if it is the highest card that we have, and a card is low if it is the lowest card that we have, not because it is 6 or below or 7 or above. If I have the 3 and the 2, the 3 is a high card. And if I have the 10 and the 9 is a low card. So it's based on the cards that you have in your hand when you're giving the signal. And of course, when partner is giving the signal, the cards that they have in their hands. So we have to look around and see what we can see and then determine, is it more likely that this is a high card or more likely that it is a low card. And when we look at the 5 of diamonds, it is 100% a high card. Why do I say that? Because partner can't have any cards higher than the 5. The only other possibility here is that the only diamond that partner has is the 5. And that is possible. It is absolutely possible. But if partner has another diamond, it is a lower diamond because we can see the 6, the 7, the 8, the 9, the 10, the ace, the king, the queen, and the jack. We can see every single card above the 5. So either partner only has the 5, which is possible, or the 5 is partner's highest card. And again, in this partnership, a high card says, don't continue the suit. It is not good for our partnership. I don't have any help for you. So what should we do? Don't cash the king of diamonds. I know that when you are looking at an ace and a king, the temptation to cash the ace first, which is a good choice, and then cash the king, it's overwhelming. Because why not take this trick? We're most of the way there to setting the contract done. We're over halfway. But the problem is that if we look at dummy with the queen, jack, little of diamonds, if we cash the king, we're making the queen and the jack good. And actually, even if the king is cashing, we're creating 2 tricks for declare. So even without partner signal, we should know not to continue in diamonds. But maybe partner has a doubleton. Maybe partner can trump. Now, of course, if partner has a doubleton, they would tell us to keep going with the suit, but also declarer would have a doubleton. So there wouldn't be a lot of value in that because partner's trump would be getting over-trumped by East. So even without partner's signal, we should know not to play the king of diamonds. With partner's signal, it is a near certainty that continuing diamonds is not a good idea. Now, there is the outside possibility that the 5 is a singleton and we could cash the ace and the king and give partner a ruff and then set the hand with our ace of hearts. But the auction makes this a little bit, not impossible, but unlikely. We know that East has a distributional hand. East also went to game after West declined the invitation. Almost certainly, based on those 2 things, West isn't looking at 3 little diamonds. That would be unusual for West to do with 3 little diamonds. So I would suggest that the 5 of diamonds being singleton from partner is fairly unlikely and is much more likely that the 2 of diamonds is a singleton. And if we cash the king, what ends up happening is declarer trumps. They now pull trump. And utilize their diamonds to discard their losers. So we created 2 diamond tricks for declarer, and as a consequence, they have gotten rid of not 1 but 2 losers. And now we will eventually take the king of clubs, but we won't get the ace of hearts because we made the diamonds good. Let's go back. What to lead here is made even more difficult by the fact that it's hard to lead another suit. If we can't lead diamonds, we're certainly not going to lead clubs. We expect to take a trick with a king of clubs. We can't lead clubs. We'd be giving up a trick, and that would not be good. Probably also in hearts. We're probably a little safer in hearts, but in a trump suit, we usually don't want to lead an unsupported ace or lead a suit that has an unsupported ace. This means that we're leading spades. There's nothing wrong with leading trump. And on this hand, I think actually trump is a reasonable thing to do. Partner probably is fairly short. Declarer probably has good trump, so it's probably going to be okay. And as it turns out, leading a spade is an excellent passive lead that will allow us to set the contract. Let's go back to that very first trick and look at all 4 hands. If we continue diamonds, not only are we not going to take a trick with our king because it's going to get trumped, But even worse than that, we're going to be making the queen and the jack of diamonds good. And this will allow declarer to get rid of both of their heart losers. If we just exit passively with a spade, declarer will not be able to set up the diamond suit and will therefore always have 2 heart losers and a club loser. They can draw trump, ending in dummy, but they can't make the diamonds good. Because if they lead the queen of diamonds, if they play a heart, we can simply win the king. And even though the jack of diamonds is good, it's too late because we can cash our ace of hearts. And even though they get 1 discard on the jack of diamonds, that won't help them with their club loser. We will always get the king of clubs and they will go down. If we go back a little bit, because declarer can't make the diamonds good, there is no way for them to escape losing 2 hearts. As long as we refuse to lead hearts, continuing to exit passively by leading a club, declarer will be unable to get rid of their heart trick because they won't be able to make the diamonds good. Whereas if we lead the king of diamonds, we make the diamonds good for them, and now they make the hand. Sooner or later, from one hand or the other, declarer is going to have to play hearts, and when they do, we will get our 2 heart tricks for down 1. Let's go back to that first trick. Don't just assume that the 5 is a low card because anything 6 and below is low. Don't do that. Look around at the hand. You can see every single card above the 5. So you know for a fact that this is the highest card that partner has. And whether or not a card is high or low is based on what we have. Partner has the 5, the 4, and the 3. So the 5 is a high card. Look around, and if you can't figure it out, go with what's more likely. But in this case, I think you can figure out that this is a high card telling you not to continue diamonds, and when we shift to a spade, allowing us to set the hand. Thank you. It's almost fall. Yay! I hope you're staying cool playing bridge. Remember to like and subscribe. It really helps. See you next week.